can't do this anymore. It's just too much. What's the point? Everyone is better off without me. I'm better off dead. I was lying in my bed, sleepless, looking at the rusted tin ceiling, when these thoughts came in uninvited. I was 5 years old, only 5 years old, and they've never left me, always insisting that I'm a living mistake, making mistakes. Eventually, these thoughts became active when I started to look around and to fantasize about the most creative way to get the job done. The first time I acted on these thoughts, I was 13. Laying in the hospital room, the first person I saw when I came back into consciousness said to me, "Oh, you're alive. You can't even do that right." Now, I know here at the United Nations, I'm surrounded by people who encourage and empower others to thrive. You're probably thinking, I would never say such hurtful words to someone who is in so much pain. I believe you. And yet, most people don't know what to say. So they'd rather not talk about it. For example, when I tell others that I'm a cancer survivor, their faces light up. They ask follow-up questions and they almost jump for joy. In contrast, when I share that I'm a multiple-time suicide survivor, there's shock, then silence, followed up with a change in subject. Or they default to the lethal phrases. Don't give up. It will get better. Or something along the lines of choose joy. Count your blessings. Be grateful. Or just look at the brighter side of life. What I've learned in my over 4 decades living through active and passive suicidal thoughts is that positivity is fuel to the stigma of suicidality. It makes us feel wrong for something that's just not our fault. And because what others recommend or prescribe doesn't work for us, it reinforces that idea that there's something wrong with us, that we're broken, and that we are alone. Being unable to positively think it or pray it away actually adds to the sense of defeat that we already feel. That's why for years I was trapped in a shame-induced prison of solitary confinement. Sometimes obsessively looking for a cure, sometimes desperately looking for a weapon. Suicide is the second leading cause of death for children, youth, adolescents, and young adults worldwide. It's common, it's urgent. It can happen to anyone. It's a global human issue, and it's everyone's problem. One person dies by suicide every 40 seconds. And many suicides are preventable because research proves that trauma doesn't come from experiencing adversity alone, but from being alone and feeling alone in our hurt. In my research, I have confirmed what I learned in my lived experiences, and it's this. The way that we talk about suicide makes it harder and difficult for us to ask for help. The words that we use matter. So, speaking in respectful language when it comes to suicide can actually help people stay alive because they don't feel like they have to suffer in silence. So I'm sharing 3 guidelines, very easy, simple guidelines that we can all use to destigmatize and decriminalize the experience of suicide and the word suicide. Number 1, let's avoid the word commit. We are not criminals or sinners. We are lonely, afraid, and thinking that suicide is the only viable solution to seemingly unsolvable problems and unbearable pain. Number 2, let's ban the word attempt. Staying alive is not failure. And let's not ever imply that suicide is success. 3, let's stop talking about taking a life or killing oneself. The notion or insinuation that we're not thinking about others or that we don't value our lives is ignorant, inaccurate, and even insensitive. Choosing respectful language around suicide helps us become safe people. So repeat after me. Safe people save people.
Safe people save people.
Yes. When we become a safe person and learn to become a safe person, we can actually help reduce the stigma of suicidal thoughts. We can reduce the suicidal rate, and we can also help people staying alive. Some helpful alternatives that we can use are death by suicide, contemplating suicide or suicide contemplation, and seeking to end one's pain. Now, as a speaker and author and advocate, I encourage people to practice my S.A.V.E. acronym to avoid poisonous positivity and help people when they're going through a hard time. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. S is for stay calm. A is for attentively listen. V is for validate their experience. E is express gratitude for their vulnerability. You don't have to be a mental health expert to make a difference. Holding space alone can be life-saving. You can be with someone through their proverbial bridge until mental professional help comes. Now, my invitation to you is when someone shares that they're going through a difficult time, don't be positive. Be present. Let me say that again. Don't be positive. Be present. Saying the right words will help them seek and access the right tools, the right resources, and the right safety plans. Just being there with them will help them through the hardest time. And they'll get a loud message from you. Your feelings and your pain is valid. It matters to me. And I am here with you. You are not alone. And to those of you who, like me, struggle and face these thoughts one day at a time, I share my firm witness. It's okay to dance with death. Just make sure you take the lead. Blessings.